Ian Gallagher, who came onto the ground with Dipper before the game.
And McKernan at centre-half forward to replace the absent Carey. And there's Glenn Archer.
Kernahan had it early in the match. The goal umpire's gone up to them. The start of the game, the Blues go to the left, Carlton to the right. Lynn runs through from the centre square. Williams was there with a Sheko. Oh, willing early, and a ball up.
And as we thought, Bruce, Glenn Archer, a surprise selection up forward, playing on the half-forward flank as a second centre-half forward, probably. And a big job for Fairley there on Stephen Kernahan. Bit of a surprise.
Madden wins the tap there. Brown swings out a handball, gains about 15 metres. Laidley and Bond together. And again, a ball up. That's centre-half forward for the Blues this time.
And it's Anthony Stevens picking up Greg Williams in this early part of the game, but don't be surprised if North Melbourne three-team him as they did last year.
Man, it was very heavily onto Gleeson, and both teams are trying to assert their authority early in the game. Bradley is underneath all that. Oh, some tough stuff in there, and the umpire may pick a free kick out of this. No, yes, he's picked the free kick out. I thought it may have gone to Bradley. He was on the bottom of the pack, but it's going to North Melbourne. And we'll have a look at man on Gleeson. It was a beauty. Unloaded Gleeson, who's been playing very well for the Blues over the last few weeks. The ball now with Hogg. Handball, Hannah. Hannah quickly kicks to half forward. No mark taken. The ball rebounds to the centre of the oval. Taken there by McKernan, but the kick smothered. Williams underneath. Just gets his left hand to it. Blakey off to Archer. Archer's quick kick to the centre of the ground. Dean, a quick kick by that player. Out into the open now. The Blues have got a chance. It's Heaver. He's on the point of the square. The short pass. Too high for Kernahan. It goes to the back. Kernahan a little toe poke. Not really all that effective. Chance there now for the Blues. Heaver again in the action. Blakey tries to kick it clear. Again Blakey, and he gets it away with the left foot.
Up to centre wing. McKernan, handball good. Allison on the run on his right side, his left good. Kick to Longmire. Silvani goes with him, taps it away. At centre wing, Schwass off the ground. Silvani and Longmire together. Silvani straight out of bounds. Will he play it deliberate? No. They've been doing that of late. He's had a good year, Silvani. He's played in every match. 11 degrees at the moment, going down to 10. Hasn't got much above that all day in Melbourne. It's been a winter's day. Full stop. Gleeson holding the footy. Oh, gee. Well, he didn't have much time.
Unbelievable.
Clarkson to the goal square. Longmire, Silvani. Crocker. Christou puts the tackle on him. McKay to Brown. Good tackle. The handball not all that good by McKay. It was very slow. Brown wins it back again. And now over the top McKay with Archer. And it's going to be a bounce down at right half forward for North Melbourne. No score. We've been playing about 3.5 minutes.
Well, I don't think there's going to be any quarters given in this match. Christou it is that just gets clear. Not clear enough to affect the kick. And it's bashed forward by Clarkson.
A couple of matchups, Robbo. Blakey's picking up Bradley. Hogg has got the job on Schwass. Heaver is on Smith, or Smith on Heaver. And Lady's picking up the dangerous Bond on the half-forward line for Carlton.
Chance for North Melbourne through Stevens. It goes straight through Allison. Attempted kick off the ground twice there by Gleeson. Ball still there for North Melbourne. Quite near their centre-half forward position. And it will be a bounce.
And Carlton are using all their small forwards up on the half-forward line. The whole 50-metre area is vacant, with only Stephen Kernahan there.
Williams tackled, and he's given a free kick away. Couldn't quite pick out what that was for, but it looks as though it may have been paid against Greg Williams, and it may have just been a little bit too high when he tried to fend off the tackler. So the football with Rock. Rock is just outside 50 metres. He kicks to well within scoring distance for the Kangaroos. Now it's forced clear. Kick by Campbell. Straight up in the air to half forward.
Oh,
well done.
effort.
Terrific stuff there by Clarkson. Stood his ground and has been awarded the mark. And as usual, now the free kick has been given away. Yeah. North Melbourne players remonstrating. The Blues have got the footy. And I don't think Dennis Pagan would be too happy with that. It's Dean at half-back, looks to play on. Now the kick is going to North Melbourne, so shepherding, the umpire indicating there. So the free kick will go to North Melbourne, 50 metres. I think it might be. Yes, the officiating umpire in the arc is saying to Peter Dean that you didn't get the ball back to that player as wished, and a 50-metre penalty, and it's Brett Ellison. 26 tomorrow, Brett Ellison.
Didn't the umpires star? Haven't they been starring over the last minute or two?
Very much in the play. Ellison should quite simply put this through for the first score of the evening.
Bit ticky Touchwood early in the piece.
Ellison from right on the end of the square kicks North Melbourne's first goal. So a handy start for North Melbourne. Some very, very tight football before this, and eventually what was quite easily given to a North Melbourne player, a goal for the Kangaroos.
And it's disappointing that all the side play took away from the great courage that it took for Clarkson to take that mark. He certainly got hit by a bulldozer with Brown coming through at full ball. Well done. Good effort to Ellison to convert 5 metres.
Goal, North Melbourne. I guess justice done in the end because Clarkson should have been rewarded. It was a fantastic mark, and unfortunately Blakey got mixed up with Fraser Brown and they took it off them. But Allison getting the goal. Madden gets his hand on it. Stevens with a job on Williams, and again a free kick. We've had a lot of free kicks early.
4 to North Melbourne, 1 to Carlton, Bruce.
Out of the centre, Clarkson to full forward. McKernan and Longmire. Punch away was good by Dean. Back to the centre wing. Brown, high tackle that time. Play on call to Gleeson on the run. Gleeson to half forward, Kernahan the target. Well done coming across the front of Kernahan by Ross Smith.
And that's one problem for Carlton. They are most predictable once they get across the half-forward line. They just pinpoint all their kicks to Stephen Kernahan, and the peripheral defenders are very much awake to it, as we saw then.
Kernahan, Mitchell, didn't really look. Heaver caught, took a long time, had to concede ground. Bradley, free kick. And centre wing.
See more of that. The player in the difficult conditions that makes the play and goes after the footy should be rewarded.
Kernahan at the back. Sporting at the front, punched away. Hannah held his ground pretty well. Then pushed out. Schwash's handball only as far as Heaver. Back to Mitchell. A little grubber by Mitchell. Stevens tried it off the ground. Kernahan probably should have gone. Was waiting back for Holt. Taking it away now. Scholl with a high ball. Back into the centre of the ground. At the back, McKernan. Christou had it ripped away. Punch forward by the Blues. That was by Lynn. Nip and shoulder was excellent by Heaver. Got rid of Ashenko. Gleeson, McKay, they concede a bit of ground. Lynn with a high one.
And Lynn gets a good left foot to it. And it goes wide, and a terrific mark taken out here by Justin Madden. Gives the hand pass away to Bradley. Scouting. His kick goes to the goal square. Well done by Fairley. Made a good contest of it between he and Kernahan. Kicked away by Laidley. Taken away by Hannah. He's being matched up by Scholl. The little kick by Hannah is effective. Centre half forward, not quite centre half forward. Mark taken by Heaver. He goes short. Looking again. Kernahan, great mark. Terrific start by the captain.
I just want to know what Russell Green is doing out there, getting in the way of Stephen Kernahan. We might just get a wider shot. There it is. Russell Green is acting like another defender. Just when Harry Madden took that mark not long ago, he stood in the direct line for Bradley, so trying to intercept, or he wouldn't intercept it, but to interrupt the flow for Carlton. It's good work by Russell, but I'm not sure it's legal.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that, Jared. It's very well picked up as Kernahan's got the football about 40 metres out, perhaps a little closer. So he shouldn't have any trouble with the distance. He kicks from a long way further out, but he kicks the goal. So Kernahan's first goal levels the scores here at the MCG. Ellison has kicked North Melbourne's goal and Stephen Kernahan has kicked the goal for the Blues.
And you see on the replay, there's Russell Green 3 metres away. I wonder what he's doing there. And let's have a look at Russell only about 30 seconds prior to that event. There he is. Is he giving a message to Big Harry, or is he just getting in the way? What's he doing there?
Scores level at the MCG, a goal apiece. Kernahan off to a good start. Lynn got a push in the back. Play on called. Schwass will go off the ground, out very wide, bouncing ball, gaining momentum. And out of play at half forward. The North Melbourne bench and Mickey Martin in the centre. Collapsed lung 3 weeks ago at the Gabba and back. And Robert Pyman alongside of him. He had stress fractures earlier on this year. First match for the season. Adam McCarthy sitting in as well. That's the bench. Madden with the free kick. I think he's getting better with age as Harry. He's only 33. He's a pup. He's playing magnificently this year again. Hannah, high ball. Bond underneath it. Laidley goes with him. Blakey, good take in the conditions. Poor kick really. Just blazed away very high. Christou in the middle there. McKernan came in from the back. Williams got a tough one. Crocker there. Handball sideways to Christou was a good one. Christou to fall forward. Kernahan there. Getting back Blakey. Bradley's had a good start. Handball. Heaver normally kicks these. This will go through. It's a goal. The Blues have bounced back with 2 goals in a minute and a half and they're in front.
Well, that was a great handball from Peter Dean in the middle of the ground to initiate all this. And I just think this may well have been a fluke. A good handball, but what's the slip once again? No, perhaps he did have a deliberate shot.
Is that Bond?
Well done to Brent Heaver, under severe pressure to get that goal away.
Sorry, Jared, I just mentioned it. Bond was good in the goal square to affect that Shepherd.
Throw, yeah.
The ruck contest, trying to take it away there was King. He's going to get another chance at it. Really couldn't control it, but tried to tap it into the path of Scholl. Dean a little handball. Christou, Mackay, back to Christou. He's a good running half-back as Ange Christou, and that's a lovely kick to half forward. North Melbourne under pressure. Clarkson got it, but Kernahan nearly nabbed him. He's kicking to the centre of the ground. Christou a little late. No free kick. Gee whiz, you're a bit stiff there, Anthony Rock. Still the ball in the centre of the ground. King tried to get it clear. Bradley gets his left foot to it. Kicks are going to be difficult to get. Heaver, can he get his second? The kick goes to the square. Bond gets back. Little kick by Bond. Not bad. Gleeson should kick the goal and does. Well, I think that young man, Bond, should be congratulated. He's featured in 2 passages of play in the last 5 minutes. One was a Shepherd, and that little kick for Gleeson was terrific.
Yeah, and the small players for Carlton are really cutting up North Melbourne at the moment. There may have to be some structural changes to their defence. They just appear a little bit quick with Heaver, Gleeson, Bond, and even Mitchell up there creating some damage.
Carlton forward again. Spalding has to concede ground. Sweeps the handball to Mitchell. Good play to Lynn. Centering kick. Giving a great opportunity. A terrific mark under pressure by Hogg.
Is this bloke a good player?
What a mark.
He's just steel, Jim.
He is the man of steel.
Oh, fantastic.
He's a mighty mouse.
I don't think anyone's ever doubted the fact that this fella's got terrific courage, but that is just wonderful.
Yes, that's attacking the football, just eyes right on the Tom Sheeran and just going hard at it. Brushed aside Laidley, who went at it with a poke punch. Nothing against that player.
Black armbands there for Gerald Burke, who died during the week. Unfortunate for the Blues, a terrific player in days gone by, and was secretary at Carlton when I started in 1966. A great servant of the football club.
Hogg from about 30 metres. He's given it a hook and missed. Anticlimactic after all of that. As we look at the Blues bench with Koutafidis there and Cook and Alvin. Alvin back in for Diolio. Smith goes very short. Good mark in the end by Blakey.
Blakey's got the football between fullback and centre-half back for the Kangaroos, and he goes straight down the ground. It'll land pretty well in the centre of the MCG. Good mark taken by McKernan. I think we've sung his praises quite often already this season, and a good kick to full forward. Nearly reached full forward. Silvani gives the handball away. Hogg doing some good work back in defence. Kicks the ball close to the line. It goes over. Archer and Mackay. Glenn Archer there and Andrew Mackay for Carlton. Boundary throw in about 55, 60 metres around from the North Melbourne goal, right where the players enter the arena. Williams being tagged there by Stevens. That's Schwass, couldn't get clear. Little kick off the ground. Not very far, but Lynn was good. So was Mitchell handling the ball. Dean get rid of it. Too slow, Peter, but he's able to get a little kick to it, which was effective. Sexton's was also equally as effective. Chipping in Clarkson, taken away now by Crocker. No, still there in the centre of the ground, and Spalding was pretty good. Peter Mann got his right foot to it. By gee, is it tough and hard to get a ball in there.
Rocks high one to centre half forward. McKernan, Bigley at the back. Dean in the front. McKernan well played to Crocker. Crocker with a little one along the ground. Longmire takes it. Handball beautiful to Allison, who kicks a goal. His second. North get their second. It's 2 goals the Kangaroos, 3-1 the Blues. Dennis Pagan looking on.
Well, we spoke briefly about Brett Allison's importance to this side. He's been a terrific player for most of the season for North Melbourne, and with the absence of Trent Nichols, with the absence of Trent Nichols, for him to get goals off the wing is an added bonus for North Melbourne.
Ruck contest, Madden couldn't really get an effective tap to it. Kicked off the ground by Schwass, taken by Lynn, just got a right foot to it. It bounces out near the wing, taken by Campbell, tackled by McKay, gathered by Archer. Kick by Archer is out on the full. Free kick anyway. Well, it is a free kick now to the Blues to be taken by Michael Sexton. Sexton from between half-back and centre wing. A nice long kick, punched away by the North Melbourne defence. Knocked over by Brown. Bradley is there. And in a hurry, Bradley's kick was pretty good, with the mark taken by Mann, who's done a pretty good job for North Melbourne. Peter Mann, given particular tasks by Dennis Pagan. His kick goes across the centre of the ground. Madden, he's got Scholl. That could be nearly dropping the ball. No, it's holding the man. Well, I can't quite work that out, but still, the umpire wasn't far away. It's a free kick to Scholl. He kicks straight down the ground, up towards full forward. No mark. Archer, handball, got it back himself, then got his right foot to it. Kicked it in the direction of Longmire, gathered by that player. Handball, Archer again, chopped off by McKay, and McKay quickly out near the wing, and a terrific mark is taken out there by Craig Scholl. He gets to his feet quickly, and then kicks in towards the goal square. The ball at the back will be tidied up by Dean.
Steadies, short to Gleeson. When you look around the ground, Jared, you see why these two teams are very good. The matchups are terrific, aren't they? Top-class players on, top-class players everywhere.
No doubt about that.
Good mark by Blakey.
I'll just briefly go through some matchups on the forward line for North Melbourne. Crocker has been picked up by Christou. We'll get to it in a minute, Bruce.
Blakey's kick, a good one as it turned out to Allison, who is a thumping kick and may be able to score from here.
Well, he did start on the wing, was being picked up by Brown. He's now into the forward pocket, and I imagine that Rock's come up onto the ball.
He's kicked North's 2 goals to date. Good looking kick right there. Madden puts his hand up and touches it. How tall's Madden? 6'9".
You just said he was a pup. I'd have to see him when he's fully grown.
David Parkin, special night for him. The banner celebrating his 200th match as coach.
Just a couple of those matchups, Bruce. Dean's picking up McKernan now. Silvani on Longmire. Sexton's got Campbell at centre half forward. McKay on Archer. And Christou on Crocker, as I said.
His 200th match with the Blues for Parkin. He's had a great career at Hawthorn. To Fitzroy, left foot there by Mitchell. Poor kick.
Bit of a nothing kick, that one, an up and under. He had 2 options. He could have gone short to Bond, and he didn't go long enough to reach Spalding.
So Laidley from half-back.
Laidley indicating that he's going to take it close to the boundary line. Short, taken by Gleeson, quickly over his left shoulder to half-forward. Where are the Crummers? Mitchell able to get the ball clear, not quite as effective as he would have liked. Blakey well tackled there by Heaver. Williams gets the handball out to Mitchell. Mitchell's quick kick into the pocket bounces over for a throw-in about 25-30 metres around from the Carlton goal. The Blues lead by 6 points. They're 3-1. North Melbourne are 2-1.
North Melbourne heavily back today because of the weather. Surprisingly, when you look at Carlton's small fleet, it's 7-4 on Carlton with Sportsbook.
Well, I can't work out how you find an odds-on favourite in a game of footy, especially when you get 2 fairly evenly matched teams like these two. McKay was good on Archer. McKay will get it back, gives it to Brown. Brown slips the Archer tackle, then tries to get it to Gleeson. Gleeson attempted kick in mid-air. Oh, terrific by Mitchell. Eventually Williams to Brown. Brown's kick to the goal square. Another good contest back there. Taken by Hogg. Hogg. Was he grabbed too high?
Yeah, he was. And it's not surprising that Greg Williams has had a number of touches in the last 2 minutes, because North Melbourne have taken the pressure off him. Anthony Stevens isn't now tagging him. Wayne Swass wasn't getting a kick, and the player on screen, there he is, Greg Williams, but Matthew Hogg was doing a terrific job on Swass. So North Melbourne have countered that and put Swass onto Greg Williams. So you can expect, if they went like that all night, both players to feature heavily in these stats.
Well, this could easily be Matthew Hogg's second goal. He missed a sitter a few minutes ago from directly in front. He should kick this, and he does. Matthew Hogg kicks his first goal. The Blues get their fourth, and they lead by 12 points.
And in the centre of the ground, Greg Williams giving big Alex Ishenko the towel. I'm not sure if we had that on the screen, but just wiped the towel on his mush. And you just see this little incident on screen. There wasn't a great deal in it, but certainly it was there. Oh, there wasn't much in it either, was it?
Blues by 2 goals at the Melbourne Cricket Ground on Friday night footy, 4-1 to 2-1. Williams out of the centre with the little one. Gleeson doing very well. So's Brown. Goes to Kernahan. Front spot. Fairly behind him. Jared Healy calling for a free kick. Bond or Kernahan comes in with a crunch.
Williams fixed the bloke up too.
Williams' handball. Lately still in trouble after the Kernahan tackle. Mitchell back to Brown. Juggling attempt there by Clarkson, then goes off the ground. High tackle by Kernahan. No, looked all right, the umpire says. And on reflection might have been, and a bounce down. Jim Kernahan charging in on Lately, wasn't he?
My word.
Yeah, Lately just bumping straight into the knee of a Carlton player.
Bradley, Kernahan doesn't go very far. Bond being held on to by Lately. Off the ground, misses a behind. Lately had a good hold of his jumper.
Yeah, it appeared to be a free kick in it, but perhaps that was a square up for the soft one to Hogg.
Now Lately in the back pocket.
He goes further down that right-hand half-back area where the mark is taken by Clarkson. Clarkson is still inside the 50-metre area for the Blues. His kick holds up in the breeze, but a good mark is taken by big Alex Ishenko. He gets the handball away to Blakey. Blakey's had quite a few possessions. That's his 5th kick. It goes to centre forward, punched away by Silvani. Couldn't be gathered by Swass. He gets around onto the left, then the right, back onto the left, and then eventually forced to kick with his right foot. He hooks the kick. Oh, but he nearly hit Andrew McKay on the chest. McKay took it just a fraction too easy. Arch has been good in that passage. So was Lynn for the Blues, and he gets the handball away to Gleeson. Gleeson's short kick. He finds Hannah. Hannah quickly off the right foot. Gets it up to the 50-metre area. Fairley at the back. Tries to tidy up. Bond. That could be a free kick to Fairley, surely. In the back against Bond. Players just maybe getting a little excited there, but the ball will go back to Ian Fairley, who's in the left half-back flank area.
Goes long. Dean at the back of McKernan. Punched on by Swass. Worth the kick in that circumstances. Christou paddles it to the boundary line and out of play. It's been a bright opening here. Carlton leading by 13 points. Ange Christou beat the Tribunal on Monday night. Madden, McKernan. Madden easily. Gleeson went to ground. Williams tried to barge through. Gets a free kick. Held on to. He's had a real impact in the last 7 or 8 minutes, Williams, after a slow start. So 3 handballs. And this is his first kick. Normally very constructive. Got to Sexton and found him in the heart of the centre square. Goal late in this term for the Blues will be very handy. Kernahan in the centre. Got a fair grab it. Well played to Mitchell. Mitchell scouting well. Goes to full forward. Lately goes. Here's Bradley. Bradley round his body. Misses. He'll be disappointed with that. Did all the hard work and then put too big a hook on it.
Mitchell 4 kicks and 7 handballs, Bruce.
A few of them have been not much, but he's
getting where the ball is, and I think that's important. Rock in the right half back flank area. Good kick by that player, and he finds Stevens close to the wing. He plays on off his favoured left foot, kicks in towards the centre. A real tussle there. Crocker's got the football, gets a handball away. Dean quickly in the Hogg direction, but it's Stevens for North Melbourne. Brown is taken to the ground there by Crocker, and the umpire can do nothing but bounce.
And Rock is now tracking Greg Williams. Two little midgets. You can see them on the bottom of the screen. It's King for North Melbourne, doing it hard.
Both runners with instructions out on the field. Christou, pretty good there on McCarthy. Dean, dour defender Peter Dean. Christou again in the action, little toe poke. Really to the advantage of Blakey, who gathered, then kicked towards full forward. Excellent mark taken by Longmire. John Longmire is about 35, 40 metres out, pretty well straight in front. And he should get his first goal and become North Melbourne's second goal scorer for the evening.
Good use of the body, and read that swing on the ball better. Just positioned himself nicely.
John Longmire. Distance not a problem, and neither is the accuracy. It's a great kick. Longmire kicks his first goal. 2 goals to Brett Allison, and for the Blues they're all singles. Kernahan, Gleeson, Heaver and Hogg.
You see this when Blakey gets his kick to the ball, he bends the ball around, so it was always going to swing right to left on your screen. John Longmire had the perfect position, just faded back and took it nicely, but most importantly he went back and kicked the goal early, which for him is very important.
8 points the margin, 3-1 to 4-3 here. Oshenko goes right into Madden. A high tackle on Mitchell. So as Robbo told us, 4 kicks, 7 handballs a moment ago. His 12th possession. Hannah, slow handball out to Sexton, had to wait and then threw it away. Scholl had hold of him. Mitchell yet again run down, this time by Campbell. McCarthy's just come on to Scholl. North Melbourne with one last opportunity to kick a goal in the first term. McKernan. Allison brilliantly done, in the pocket, snap, misses a behind. Great pickup, speed, he accelerated away. And North Melbourne up to 3-2 to 4-3. Allison's kicked 2-1 in this opening term and had 5 kicks off his centre wing. It's been good. Dying seconds here. Nothing much should happen. Dean to Lynn. Lynn in the back pocket. And able to work the time clock down. Entertaining opening term, wasn't it? North Melbourne 3-2, Carlton 4-3.
As compared to that one in the first round in South Australia.
Start of the second term, Friday night football on 7 Sport. 3-2 North Melbourne, 4-3 Carlton. Madden had to sit and wait. Oshenko went in strongly. Stevens to fall forward. Wide and out of play in the left forward pocket. Dean McKay there.
And Glenn Archer's gone to full forward as he did at about the 20-minute mark of the first quarter. Andrew McKay's gone with him. A great matchup. Two very talented and similar players.
Both athletic and rarely fall over under pressure, don't they? McKernan, Madden. Gaining about 15 metres for North Melbourne, so tucked away in the pocket now.
And McKernan has the task of doing all the ruck work in the forward half for North Melbourne. Alex Oshenko just lurking back, a kick behind play a la Gary Dempsey of old, and doing the ruck work in the defensive half.
And he sits back, Jared, and takes a running leap, McKernan, from the back. He's got a terrific leap, realising that Madden's got the height advantage. Lynn long, here's Oshenko in the picture.
Oh, that is great.
Wasn't it by Spalding? In between the two players and dishes it out to Bradley. Centering kick. Mitchell tried the half volley, should give it on the up to Spalding. He does give the handball away. Hogg to go for his second, hooks it again and hits the post.
Best build-up of the night, Bruce, and Matthew Hogg really should have kicked 3 goals.
Yes, the first one he missed was from about 30 metres out after a magnificent mark.
Well, I guess he's got a fault as an on-baller. He just lacks that little bit of polish, a little bit of his finishing skills. But, he's been a terrific player for Carlton the last couple of years.
Well, North Melbourne have got the ball back near the centre of the ground. A real struggle for possession. Gleeson off the ground. It finishes with Fraser Brown. Little handball. That kick now in the square. Bond should get the Blues' 5th goal, and he does so. All Carlton goal scorers at this stage, singles, Kernahan, Bond, Gleeson, Heaver and Hogg, and they lead 5-4 to 3-2.
Well, Ross Smith is giving Bond a nice old spray, and I'm just wondering what he's got to say, because Bond was 30 metres on his own. There you see it. Perhaps he was saying cheat, cheat, cheat. But if he sat back there unattended and kicked a goal, with Laidley perhaps running off him trying to get a possession, well, he's got the score on the board, and that'll do him.
5-4-3-2 here. The Blues again out to 14 points. Clarkson tackled by Gleeson. Free kick to Clarkson. Back in the team tonight. One of 4 changes. Gives it off to Stevens. Penetrating kick to half forward. Silvani, well played. Longmire. That's going to be another terrific duel. Silvani's handball. Okay over the top. Brown had to kick it in a hurry. Schwartz put the pressure on. Mitchell there. With him was McCarthy. High ball by Mann. Back into the heart of the centre square. McKernan took off early. Terrific mark. Went early, held his place and took it on his chest in the end. He's a thumping kick. He's got a wide open forward line. Goes out wide. Archer the target. Back from suspension. McKay attacked it strongly. Got it to Williams. The Diesel with a long handball. It sits perfectly for Hannah. To McKay. Give it back to Hannah again. It's terrific football by the Blues.
Well, I tell you what, if you can give any credit, that handball by Williams into the open certainly set that up. Now North Melbourne's defence is under pressure, and they may be able to get clear. It's Peter Mann at centre half back. He swings around onto the right foot, kicks it out in the Eschenko direction. Madden does a pretty good job. The umpire sees that as all clear. Terrific stuff by Hogg. Spalding's handball not really all that effective. Dean's little touch was important. Brown's kick was good, and the mark is taken by Madden. The mark has been paid, and it's going to go away from Madden for grabbing hold of the North Melbourne player after he took the mark, and it will go back to Schwartz. Umpire indicating that he was held onto, and interestingly, it was the central umpire who was about 45 to 50 metres away from that incident who made the decision. There's another umpire in that little arc, and he didn't see any infringement. The kick to the wing, it's punched away. Blues defence, Silvani, chopped off though by Clarkson. Good play, Silvani in the back. Surely that's in the back. Yes, the umpire has seen it. Clarkson will take the free kick between wing and left half forward.
Well, as Wayne Swasson pumped that ball back up for foot North Melbourne, they really must get a lift out of him. He's only had 3 possessions today. Matthew Hogg backtracking him.
Longmire the target. Silvani at the back. Campbell's handball to Crocker. Intercepted by Lynn. Christou puts a tackle on. Sexton, well done to squeeze that out from nowhere. Stevens held on to. Williams trying to quick handball away. Blakey, it's tight there in the crunches. Stevens and Williams again together as they started the match. And there's the Brownlow medal favourite. He won it in 1986. Could he do it again at 30 years of age?
Campbell coming off the ground for North Melbourne. Robert Pyman getting his first run for the season.
Good stuff there by Carlton, just to force it forward in numbers, and eventually it finishes with Bradley, and he didn't miss his target. He set it up for Fraser Brown, and Brown has kicked the goal. Gerard, it is just so important that when the play is in the open, that the player with the ball giving the handball hits the target. What a great example by Bradley.
Yes, it was a good interception, and he just really did open them up. You'll see here Clarkson under some pressure, tried to get it away. He actually hit that with the left hand, which is the wrong hand on that occasion. Hitting across the body, it should have been the right hand, therefore no power, and a goal resulted.
Well, there wasn't much in it. It must have just scraped in, that kick by Fraser Brown to kick his first goal, and the Blues 6th. Spalding doing some good work at half forward. Gets another kick in towards full forward, but the mark is taken by Laidley, who suffered a very heavy bump inflicted by Kernahan. His kick goes wide towards half back, and a stretching mark is taken by Mann.
To centre wing. King, rather Crocker in the front spot. Spalding, Williams, Christou. High and long, gets good distance to centre half forward. Kernahan, there are 3 North Melbourne players there. Eschenko, Gleeson read it beautifully to Madden. Harry to Gleeson. Poor handball, missed the body. Gleeson's still got a chance. Left foot round his body, getting back fairly, takes the mark.
Well, he let the side down there, Big Harry.
Fairly to half back. Shaw, well done. Put under pressure, Heaver paddles it forward. Little one on the up, that's a throw against Pyman. Scooped it up. And a free kick to Carlton just outside 50. Mitchell or Williams looking for it. 13 touches, Mitchell. This one going to Greg Williams, probably a better bet for Carlton. Magnificent foot pass.
Just waiting for Kernahan to find some space.
And he's done that. And he's got him. No free kick pay. Play on called. Tackle by Hogg. Quick kick by Brown. Not bad in the circumstances. Man who's doing pretty well. Sweeps it to Schwass. Schwass in the back pocket. Measures the kick towards half-back.
Not a bad kick because North Melbourne have got 3-on-2 back there. The kick now towards the wing. Not taken by Rock. He lost really all sight of that football. Sweeping hand pass Christou. Madden gets it to Sexton. Sexton off the left foot gets good ground with that kick in towards half forward. Bradley beaten for it by Blakey. Blakey screams down the ground. Kicks North Melbourne into attack. Out comes McKay. Overruns the football. So does Archer. Back goes McKernan. He's 50 metres from goal. He gets the hand pass into the clear. Pyman skillfully squeezes the kick, but it's ill-directed. And Sexton takes a good mark at full-back for the Blues.
North Melbourne once again breaking down a centre-half forward. They've got John Longmire out there at the moment. He's falling for the mistake of trying to wrestle with Silvani. I know Peter Mann's doing well at centre-half back, but I think he may be a reasonable option there if things don't turn around shortly.
Real class act, Craig Bradley. Took a good mark there and ran on. Didn't quite get onto that kick. It's high in towards half forward, but Kernahan takes the mark on his chest, and the South Australian influence is apparent here this evening. McKay on the back line, Bradley across the centre of the ground, and Kernahan at full forward.
McAvaney in the commentary box.
North Melbourne about to swing a change as we see Stephen Kernahan take that chest mark, and the North Melbourne players losing the football there. Kernahan from 50 metres gets hold of it, kicks it all the way to the line, but it's helped over for a rush behind the Blues.
There's Mick Martin going to full forward. Glenn Archer coming off the ground onto the phone, consulting with the coach.
It's a good break to the Blues at the moment. 6-5 to 3-2, dominating the second term. They've got a break early in the first quarter. Smith's kick meant for Laidley, and Kernahan rips it away.
You think Glenn Archer's too good a player to be on the bench for too long? Perhaps he's talking about going into defence.
Kernahan to Bond, who's got away from Laidley again. Laidley was standing the mark, and look at him. He's spitting chips at his teammates, telling them, where were you when I was standing the mark? And his player was able to get away. Bond from the pocket, hooks it for behind. First season Bond, he's kicked 23 goals in his 12 matches to date. Started with a real flurry. He'd only kicked 6 goals in his last 5 going into this match. And Smith the banger back in again. 6-6 the Blues, 3-2 North Melbourne.
Smith goes for the long kick and gets good distance out towards the centre of the ground. At the back it is Lynn. A little hand pass. Good one for Hannah. Hannah off the left foot. The ball slews off the side of his boot, and a good mark taken back there for North Melbourne by Fairley. He plays on and kicks it back to where Kernahan contests the mark. It's taken by Madden. Williams shares it with Hannah. Hannah tries to wait the kick in towards half forward. Get underneath that and play fair. It's McCarthy for North Melbourne. He kicks it back out towards the wing, but there's no one home for North Melbourne. Hannah marks and run past his opponent. Gets onto that right foot and kicks it back in towards the forward pocket. There's no one home again for Carlton. And Mil Hannah surely must have seen that. And the mark is taken by Fairley. Fairley comes to the members' side. Kicks it out in front of Rock. Rock pressured there by Lynn. Lynn held on, and maybe a professional free kick, because if Rock could have got past him, he may have been able to go down the ground.
Listen, with blood streaming down for a cut in his left eye. Dean's handball good. Spalding did that beautifully to McKay. Carlton right on top at the moment. Again, kicking it towards the opposition, and man able to take the mark.
Yeah, Mackay faded to the right where he should have perhaps handballed inboard to Matthew Hogg. And Michael Sexton is now picking up Mickey Martin at full-back.
Man to centre wing, Longmire's big fly from the back. McKay tries to break a couple of tackles, held up. It'll be a bounce down at centre wing.
Russell Green barking the orders again. He's dragging Longmire down into the square, and perhaps Martin is now coming out to give them something that they really do need at centre-half forward.
Need a goal, don't they, North Melbourne? They trail 6-6, 3-2. Crocker gets a punch away.
Nearly got as far as Brown. Shepherd there was by McKay. But no path really formed, and the football just rolls loosely over for a throw-in about 80 metres around from the North Melbourne goal. The Kangaroos have kicked 3-2. The Blues are 6-6. Cook preparing to come onto the ground for the Blues.
And Swass just going on to Greg Williams about the 10-minute mark of the second quarter, as he did in the first.
And the trainer giving Gleeson some attention to that cut on his left eye. Good play there by Sexton. Dean, well done to Christou. Christou kicks at good distances. Gets it out towards the wing. Bond and Laidley. Bond taps it in front of himself. Pressure applied by Smith. In comes Scholl to give him a hand, and Scholl's kick goes back near the wing. An excellent mark taken by Sexton. He gets the handball away. Christou under a bit of pressure. Hannah can't slip the tackle, but he gets the handball to Mitchell. Mitchell goes long in towards the forward pocket area. Kernahan, good contest with Fairley, and the ball goes over for a throw-in. It's about 45 metres around from the Carlton goal in their left forward pocket. And the Blues with 68 handballs to 19, dominating that area of the game. Mitchell again, another kick. Not bad either. Kernahan couldn't take the mark. Through comes Ischenko, but it's Spalding with his eyes on the football. Couldn't quite gather it. Pyman in there. The ball spills back to Spalding. And nothing happening at centre-half forward for the Blues. The umpire will bounce.
Well, I just get the feeling that North Melbourne's a little bit big all over the ground. They're still persisting with 3 tall forward line players. They've also got Alex Ischenko in the ruck, who's perhaps just giving them too much height, not enough mobility, and perhaps it's time we saw McKernan come into the ruck.
Schwass tried to kick away, couldn't get it. Crocker tried to barge through, finally does. Probably shouldn't have handballed in there, but Blakey did well to spin off Williams, and McKernan's mark was excellent. He's about 75 metres from goal, goes short. Longmire, great kick. Superb kick, and the lead was fast and positive, and he took it on his chest.
And speaking of positive, that would be their most positive move into the forward line for some time. Good to see Longmire on the burst, not wrestling.
Heaver off, Cook on, Longmire missing, so behind. 4 times the leading goal kicker. As Ischenko and Hogg talk about David and Goliath there, 3-3 to 6-6.
And Cook has come onto the ground because Kernahan's being sucked up onto the half-forward line, as we saw Hannah bombing the ball into the Carlton full-forward line a number of times with nobody there. Cook will be the man. First
score for North Melbourne in 15 minutes of footy in this second term. McKay goes short, gets Gleeson.
Gee, there was a terrific kick in that passage of play by Justin Madden to find McKay with pinpoint accuracy. Gleeson's got the ball forward of the wing. He kicks in towards full forward. Brilliant body work by Kernahan. Just got rid of his opponent with the precision of a really class player. Kernahan has kicked 1 goal. He's too far out to score. He goes to the front of the square. It's punched away. It rebounds to Rock. Schwass underneath. Gives Stevens the chance. Williams smother, brilliant. Hannah, Mitchell, then Bradley. The kick in towards the forward pocket area. Cook jumps high. And slipping as he goes over the boundary line. In those situations, you can be a little unfortunate. But Cook's okay, as we see Heaver having a rest on the interchange bench with his compatriots Tommy Elvin and Anthony Koutafidis. The boundary throw-in. Gatherers by Williams. He's pressured there by Schwass, and he gets around and kicks the ball out of trouble, temporarily at least. McKay is there. He jumps high. Oh, brilliant football. McKay goes for goal, and it is a magnificent kick nearly to the goal line. It's helped over for a rush behind.
That have floated through. It would have been a big one.
Oh, terrific play by Andrew McKay.
What about Swass on Williams? Swass has been a fairly quiet play tonight. I think rather than throwing them round, just leave him with Williams for a couple of quarters and get him to work himself into the play.
Speaking of the devil, here's Williams. Handball fantastic to Kernahan. Goes for goal and takes it right across. Cook, good grab at the back. Couldn't quite hang on. Laidley gives him a bit for his worth, and Cook and Laidley front up to one another. Rush behind.
There's been a lot of toing and throwing over the season, Bruce, about Greg Williams. There's been the sides like Essendon in the grand final put a player like Denham on him and did quite well. And then there's last time Essendon played, they put Darren Buick on him, and Greg Williams is best on the ground. So coaches would anguish with that dilemma every week.
14 scoring shots to 6, yet North Melbourne Still only 3.5 goals behind. Carlton have done enough to be 6 or 7 in front, you'd reckon. Mashenko and Spalding. Big Alex struggling.
He's just looking a bit slow at the moment. Alex perhaps needs a rest just before half-time.
Madden and Mashenko. Madden won it down. Martin's first kick now back on the back line after going to the forward line early. Christou. Dean had it ripped away. Stevens to the space. North Melbourne with a wonderful opportunity. The pick up by Mann goes back to Allison. He's a clever footballer and he kicks a goal. His third. They had weight of numbers.
It's amazing, this game of football, isn't it? I just wrote down here that the Blues should have been 7 in front with the chances they've had in the 10 minutes. All of a sudden, North go down and get a goal.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me to see Peter Mann being a player in this goal because he's a really good centre-half forward. And I think that's an important move from the coach.
(6-8 to 4-3). Blues a chance to break clear of the centre. Gleeson. Mitchell's tackle on Stevens. Just a little late, but the ball spills. Opportunity for Sexton. Good ball handling. Kick. Not bad. Mitchell. Handball. Hogg. Matthew. In towards full forward. Cook. Jumps high. Underneath that, Williams. Gets it to Gleeson. Gleeson. Snapshot. Harry. Oh, Big Harry's got a goal. Well, don't ever criticise that guy. Like good wine, gets better with age. Terrific stuff. Dennis Pagan looking a little concerned. And no wonder the Blues have slaughtered the Kangaroos in this second quarter.
You know something else about good wine? You get drunk if you have too much of it. But he's been a marvellous player.
Well,
I'm not saying that, right? But Harry Madden, since he's gone forward as a ruckman into the forward line, is a far better player.
Schwarz's quick kick, 7-8, 4-3. North need one back. Hannah and Scholl. It's been an interesting duel. Hannah's had heaps of kicks, but he's given a few of them away. Goes back to Stevens, McKernan and Dean. Dean playing it in front. Well done. Lynn, Stevens, excellent play to Pyman.
Didn't look.
To full forward. Sexton here, beautiful mark, wasn't it?
Yeah, he really didn't look there, Robert Pyman. He just popped it to the top of the square, and if he had have seen Peter Mann, he would have put it further to his left.
Christou there. Bradley, Christou provides the shepherd. Blakey, well done. Right. Terrific tackle. Now Williams to Bradley. Free kick. The Diesel penalised for a scoop. And Schwartz takes the free at centre wing.
Yes, I guess if you lift the ball off the ground, there's always the chance that you can be penalised. Schwartz's kick in towards centre-half forward. Contest there. It's Stevens picking up the crumbs, and he kicks it towards full forward. Longmire and Silvani. Surely Stephen Silvani would be quite happy to see this over. Oh, he leaves it for John Longmire, and Longmire misses. And a disappointing result, because you would have thought there that Stephen Silvani would have taken that ball over the boundary line. 7-8 to 4-4, and we've got 4.5 minutes left in the second term. The kick in has been marked by Lynn. Go short again. There's two players further afield. One is Gleeson. Gleeson goes out towards the wing. A good long kick. It clears the players out there. Martin gets back. Now maybe matching up with Spalding. The kick across his body. Goes back towards the centre of the ground. Brilliantly handled by Williams. Shrugs the tackle. Assesses the situation. And then kicks in towards full forward. Nothing happening there, but it's Hogg. Brilliantly crumbing. Matthew Hogg. Short kick. Mark is taken by Cook, and it was a good one.
Barry Mitchell just indicating there, what about the handball? Well, he's lucky. If he had gone for that mark, he may have ended up in the Alfred.
And the umpire right onto Anthony Rock, as the two players in picture had a little bit of a dust-up just off the ball. But the football is with James Cook. Very tight angle, but he is a full forward, so he should kick this. It goes across the face and through for one behind. So Cook's first score for the evening. He came off the interchange bench about 6 minutes ago. The Blues lead, they're 7-9, and North Melbourne are 4-4. We've got 3.5 minutes left in the second quarter.
Fairly got it short, banged it out long towards Scholl. Handball by McCarthy, pretty good. Stevens' kick is awful. Inside 50, Sexton. Davies forwards, no chance there. In the North Melbourne attack, Lynn back to Sexton. The backup was very good. Sexton's rebound footy up towards centre wing. Good catch there by Gleeson. He's had an impact in this first half with 10 kicks and 3 handballs. Gleeson's kicked the full forward. Spalding there with Martin. Blakey's handball under pressure. Back to Martin. Martin's kick under pressure. Mitchell running back with it. Yet another possession. Just missed Kernahan that time and fairly runs it over. And it'll be a throw-in at half forward left for the Blues. They lead 7-9 to 4-4. They've dominated this second term everywhere but the scoreboard.
They've kicked 3 goals, 6 to 1 goal, 2 so far in this second term. Umpire sees a free kick and it's going to Carlton, and it'll be taken by Barry Mitchell. Coming up for his 7th kick and 19th possession. He's kicking towards half forward, but getting back is big Alex Ishchenko, and he takes the mark. It's Pyman. He kicks across his left shoulder back towards the half-back area, and a good mark taken by Blakey. Blakey is just outside the 50-metre region. He kicks quickly in towards centre half forward. It clears the players back there. Handball by Mann. Allison could kick his 4th goal. Runs into an open goal, and a bad miss. A really bad miss there by Brett Allison. He's kicked 3 goals, 3 in that scoreline of 4-5. And the Blues kick away again. It's Silvani to Christou. Christou out near the wing. McKernan and Hogg. Underneath that was Mitchell. Picked up by McKernan. McKernan kicks it back towards full forward. The Blues have got the numbers here, but it's Allison breaking through. He'll kick this one. He's in the square. He won't miss this. 4 goals to Brett Allison. 4 goals, 3 to be exact. And the Kangaroo supporters come to life. That lady was a star on Rex Hunt's show a few weeks ago, and she's got blue and white blood, that's for sure.
Well, a good turnover there from North Melbourne. They intercepted the Carlton kick in, and fortunately for Brett Allison, his chance to make amends for an easy miss came straight after the miss.
Back to 16 points, 5-5, 7-9. Still plenty of time for either team to get another goal before half-time. Dean's kick was good. Got Mitchell. Over 20 possessions in the first half. Hogg under pressure. Oh, good mark. Eyes only for the footy again tonight. In that situation, took a fantastic mark in the first quarter. That one sliding off the side of the boot, not a good kick. Ishchenko takes advantage. His handball, not well taken by North Melbourne. Bradley, Madden, Brown, tackled by Martin. Play on call. Here's Smith coming out of defence, looking for Mann. Good mark. Sexton went early. Mann stood his ground and took it at centre wing. Kangaroos down to about 40 seconds in the first half to centre half forward. McKernan worked under the footy by Dean. Schwass looking for a free kick. McKernan a high ball. Silvani long mile. Wrestling match. They both go to ground. Allison was there to swoop. Couldn't quite get the bounce he wanted. Silvani to Hannah. And he took a bounce. Took a chance, did Mill. Runs a long way. Gets it to Mitchell. Mitchell goes over the top. Gleeson. Can he get the handball away? Off the ground. Oh, throw against Gleeson. So it goes back to Clarkson in the centre square. Gleeson saying, I handballed it. Umpy saying, no, you didn't. Free kick to North Melbourne. It's been a good first half, this. Clarkson, McKernan takes the mark. Siren sounds. Umpire on his knees about 10 metres away. Picks himself up. And McKernan to go back from 50 metres. He'll get the distance without any doubt at all. It's a thumping kick. And I fancy he might kick a goal here. Wouldn't this set up the second half? The Blues lead by 16 points. McKernan from 50 metres. It's a great kick. It's a goal. Love to watch him play. And then he gives the Diesel a bit of cheek.
Oh, hello.
Diesel goes to ground. How many games has McKernan played? Just the 10 before the night is on at half-time. What a sensational ending to a first half. And North Melbourne have got a head of steam up now at half-time. With McKernan's thumping goal, the Diesel can't believe what's going on. And they're still at it.
Well, the old Diesel's had a bit of luck during the week. He wouldn't want to press it too much.
Well, the stage has now been set for the second half. North Melbourne coming back strongly. Dean running off. They're still going here with Crocker and Hogg and McKay. And look at Peter Dean, he's completely incensed. Wants to carry on with it. Rock gives him a mouthful. They go down the race.
I can't wait for the second half to start, Bruce.
Look at Carlton hopping in here. What's going on there?
Still going on with Koutafidis. Remarkable scenes here at the Melbourne
And
Cricket
Greg
Ground.
Miller, the football manager for
Cole Kinnear involved as well.
Well, he was the one that chased Greg Miller, the football manager, so the officials, this is going back to the Windy Hill.
You get the feeling there's no love. He's having a rest.
Well, we can all see that.
7-9 to 6-5. Not often you rest your best footballer when you're 10 points in front at half-time. Bounce again. That's all due respect to Stephen Kernahan and Craig Bradley and a couple of the others. Depends on who your favourite is, I guess.
Squaring up beautifully there, Bruce.
Well, they've got some champs, the Blues. Madden. Rock out of the centre. Christou gets back against the flow. Goes out wide. Hannah chasing with Scholl. They've played on that side of the ground all night. Goes back. Mitchell taps it backwards. Now McCarthy, who started on the interchange. Loose kick, but North Melbourne in a reasonable position. Christou looks for a free kick, gets it. High tackle against Peter Mann. Christou's a long kick from the centre.
Well, first 5 minutes vital for Carlton here without Greg Williams in the middle. They'll probably subconsciously think they're a little bit vulnerable and that needs a Craig Bradley or a Mitchell to lift and take over his role.
Well, Madden tried to get it to Brown, eventually succeeded. Away to Hannah. Hannah's kick, again, too high in the air. Up towards full forward. Through Kernahan, it's McCarthy to tidy up for North Melbourne. He goes far too far wide there for Martin. Martin close to the boundary line, gets the kick away, outside 50 metres. It gets past Sexton and McKernan. McKernan, a very talented young player. His kick wobbles up towards half forward for the Kangaroos. Coming through strongly is Dean. He was involved in that altercation at half-time. A fierce defender is Peter Dean. He gets it to Sexton. Sexton's kick. Into the left forward pocket. It's punched away. Mitchell at the bottom of the pack. Can't break clear of the Archer tackle. And the ball will be bounced in the left forward pocket for the Blues.
I see Stephen Kernahan shaking his head. Cook must just learn to read the play a little bit better. There's no point him coming over the top and poleaxing his captain. They've got to work in a little bit better, and perhaps Cook has got to stay back in the forward square. Kernahan
doing the ruck work, but it's Fairley who gets his right fist to it and bashes it over the boundary line. So boundary throw in about 15-20 metres around from the Carlton goal.
They lead by 10 points. Kernahan too easily. Off the ground, Gleeson. Clarkson with courage. Then towards the boundary line. Stevens is there. Kernahan clever. Back to Mitchell or behind. Point to Barry Mitchell. He had 9 kicks and 13 handballs in the first half. It's his first score tonight, 7-10 to 6-5.
North Melbourne still using the 3 tall forwards, Peter Mann, McKernan and John Longmire in the square at the moment.
Craig Scholl has been given the job on Mil Hannah. Hannah's had some touches. He's let himself down with some poor kicking tonight. Out wide, Ashiko attacked it, couldn't hold the mark. Rock put his body in. Hogg was there. Gleeson off the ground by Christou, effective. Mitchell attacked it hard. Now Smith onto the left. Kick out towards centre wing. McKay there with Swash. It's a great player, McKay, in his second season at Carlton. The handball over the top to Hannah. Hannah goes towards half forward. That's a better looking kick. Cook can't quite get to it. Mitchell trying to do the roving act. Bouncing ball, paves the way for Brown. Brown misses the kick to Sporting. Martin takes off early. Ball at the back. Kernahan attacks it with Fairley. Fairley gets a free kick. Kernahan hanging on to him. And Fairley to take it from the back pocket. He kicked 7 goals, this fellow Fairley, against Carlton in 1984 when he won the leading goal kicker award at North Melbourne.
Hannah gets it down to Mitchell. Mitchell's handball ineffective. North Melbourne there to Crum. It's Craig Scholl. He's been awarded a free kick, looking for the advantage, but the umpire will ask him to come back and kick over the man on the mark, Mill Hannah. Craig Scholl for North Melbourne. He's kicking towards centre-half forward. Oh, up high was McKernan. Couldn't take the mark. It rebounds now for Stevens. He gets it to Mann. Mann's kick across his body. It's a good contest here. Bradley outnumbered. Clarkson leaves it for Blakey. Blakey goes for goal and misses what he should have really kicked home for North Melbourne. And it's a behind each so far in this third quarter. The Blues 7-10 and the Kangaroos 6-6. Silvani goes in short and finds Christou. He's got a player wide, close to the boundary line, and it's Tommy Alvin. Alvin runs along the boundary line, kicks quite brilliantly, hit Bond on the chest. Bond couldn't take the mark. Bradley's hurried over the boundary line by Laidley, so we'll have a throw in on centre wing.
Almost a chesty Bond.
Yes, very good, Jared. Chesty Bond. Centre wing, boundary throw in. Ruckman at it once again. Big Alex bashed it behind by Madden. The kick towards the centre-half forward position for North Melbourne. But an excellent mark taken by Andrew McKay. And by gee, hasn't he been a great find for Carlton. He's kicking towards centre-half forward. Crumbing is Heaver. Heaver goes for goal. And he's missed. Gee whiz. He kicked the first goal of the game, Brett Heaver. And he really should have dobbed that. 7-11 plays 6-6.
All having to come back. Umpire hadn't completed the wave of the flag. Smith will now take it. Carlton leading by 11 points. Wide and long this time. Martin the target. Hannah to come in from the back. Off hands. Archer runs across in front of Spalding. Hannah in trouble.
I think the ball may have bounced on Mill's head there.
He's in a bit of strife, Mill Hannah. Play going on. Rock. High left footer. Heaver getting back. Takes the mark on his chest. Hannah now getting to his feet. Shrugging away the attendants. And he's going to get a little short pass and takes it. The crowd give him a roar.
The two play.
Gotta go back.
Time on must have been called.
Yep. Right on the crew.
Good call, Gerald.
You get a stat for that one, Bruce?
Might get a goal if he was playing in another game. Heaver. Oh, what a mark!
Taken a long time for Cook to fulfil a bit of his promise, Bruce, but oh, gee whiz, I tell you what, when Stephen Kernahan has to retire, I think this boy's got the makings.
Great mark. Big fly. Grab almost on the chest in the end. And can he do a Corey McKernan and thump this from 50? A couple of the young guns in the competition. Wouldn't this make his night? It's a great kick. What a big play. Mark and goal. I think he's happy about that, Robbo.
Well, why wouldn't you be?
Son?
Why wouldn't you be? Because we see players take special marks, don't we? And we often see them not really capitalised, but this is a top effort by James Cook. And we have another look here at the height that he gets up, springing and takes the chest mark, which was terrific stuff, and then going back and kicking a 50-metre goal. So the first goal of the third term goes to the Blues. McKay, oh, he's a tough man, but by gee, had to be tough there. Blood streaming from his mouth. Campbell's being reported. And have a look at Andrew McKay. I think you may lose a couple of teeth there, son, but by gee, that's what footy's about.
Has this game lacked for anything tonight?
No, right from the first bounce, I think both of these sides have had a real good go at it. And Campbell has been reported for striking McKay. McKay, well, he looks as though he's recovered. Koutafidis preparing to take his place on the field, and blood pouring out of that mouth of Andrew McKay's.
How'd you like to write a 1-minute news story about what's happened here tonight? You'd have a bit of trouble.
Well, I think most people here have been entertained, to say the least. Andrew McKay's got the football in the centre of the MCG. He goes to the left-hand side, looking out here for Kernahan. Can't quite collect it. Then a little open-handed handball, looking for Mitchell, but it's McCarthy who keeps his footing, gets the ball to Stevens. Stevens kicks it down towards right half forward. Punched away by Sexton, kicked off the ground by Schwass. In goes Dean, and look at the desperado, Peter Dean. If you want a leader in a club, there he is right there. And he's going to receive a free kick at left half back. He goes in short, and the mark taken by McKay. Now, if there's a ruling, surely he's got to be looked at with blood streaming out of his mouth. The kick by McKay goes down towards the wing, it rebounds. The chance was for McCarthy, he couldn't quite get his foot to it. Mitchell pretty good. Christou in there to help him out. Christou's kick fortuitously finishes with Spalding. Spalding goes bang and kicks to the goal front. At the back, a brilliant mark again by Cook, and it was physical strength by the young player. We'll have another look at this, and again he stands his ground and marks from behind Archer, and that's no mean feat because Glenn Archer's got a bit of physical strength about him.
And here comes McKay coming off the ground to just try and stop that bleeding. He'll be back though. He's not concussed by any means. Just a matter of getting the cotton balls into underneath the lip, I'd imagine, and stopping the flow. But wasn't that a great piece of play by Carlton to get the ball down and finished off beautifully by the player on screen? Kenny kicked the goal.
Cook has kicked one. We saw him kick it just a few minutes ago. He's now got two. James Cook. He missed a fairly simple shot in the second quarter, but he's kicked two brilliant goals so far in the third quarter. And we'll have another look here. Barry Mitchell was pretty good in that passage. Christou's kick, a little bit of luck there because Spalding was on the end of it. Spalding went pretty well direct towards goal, and a good physical contest between those two players, and it finished with Cook, who got his second goal.
Blues by 23 points, 9-11 to 6-6. Brown pushed out of the way with a real shirt fronter. Clarkson at centre half back. North Melbourne now needing the next goal. To centre half forward, Christou mopping up, should find Alvin. The vision was excellent. Alvin, who spent the first half on interchange, he's out there now because Greg Williams has been given, in inverted commas, a rest at the moment. 50 metres against Campbell, was it, for running across the mark?
And North Melbourne's got their highest goal kicker at full back. Perhaps it was just an interchange to get Glenn Archer off the ground. Crocker's come back onto it. You'd reckon that Crocker would probably finish up on Cook.
You're talking about Allison at the moment, their highest goal kicker for tonight.
Yeah,
4 goals tonight, yeah.
And they are just affecting that change now. Crocker is going to full back.
Lovely little pass by the trainer. Back to Earl Spalding.
No, they've rethought it.
Back to Alvin.
Sorry about that, Robbo. They've rethought it. I think it's Mick Martin going down to full back.
9-11, 6-6. The Blues with 2 fantastic goals by Cook. 2 great marks. And they go to him again. Oh, he's got a third! Has he? No!
Oh, come on, make a decision, umpire.
Play on call. Mitchell runs across in front of it, goes to ground, tackle on him by McCarthy, high ball by Spalding, Harry Madden going back there with Ishenko. Scholl, Madden, handball good, Hogg from the pocket, great kick, goal! The Blues are on fire. To 6-6.
Well, this will test North Melbourne, Bruce. I think this is probably the greatest margin, as Andrew McKay is attended to by the medical staff on the bench. This would have to be the greatest margin in the game so far. It's got out now to about 29 points.
Corey McKernan into the centre for the tap out.
A terrific goal kick by Matthew Hogg. He's second. The centre bounce. Brown goes hard at it. Takes it away from Scholl. Kicks the ball in towards half forward for the Blues. Punched away by Laidley. Free kick will go to the North Melbourne player, Dean Laidley.
And Alex Ishenko started that ruck tap out in the goal square for Carlton. So obviously they're very concerned about both Kernahan and Cook. And Ishenko's role will simply be to block off those players.
Laidley goes straight down the ground. It lands close to the centre. It goes past all players. At the back, Scholl from 50 metres. Scholl goes for goal. It's right on the line. I think it's cleared the players. It's a North Melbourne goal. Kicked by Craig Scholl, his first goal, and North Melbourne get a badly needed 7th goal, but they still trail by 23 points.
And that's not an insurmountable lead, but North Melbourne are really going to have to increase their work rate, because Carlton's had a picnic here in this first 10 minutes of the third quarter. Not really showing any signs of effect of the loss of Greg Williams.
7-6 to 10-11, that long goal by Scholl, bringing North Melbourne back to 23 points. The Blues out of the centre. Christou got it. After the handball by Hogg, back to centre half forward. There's Ishenko, who Jared Healy mentioned a moment ago, was dropping back to stop the Cook-Kernahan double-headed attack. His floating kick, marked by Stevens. At centre wing, centering ball. Man in the front spot. McCarthy's handball, brilliant. Now Rock's got a goal. 30 metres out, goes and kicks it, and the Kangaroos are back at it. They do keep coming. They kicked 11 goals to 4 in a big night match this year against Collingwood after half-time. Then they won't lie down. 8-6 to 10-11.
And as we have a look at North Melbourne get their goal, Koutafidis, after only a couple of minutes on the ground, bobs off, and Andrew Mackay gets back onto the ground, and Carlton really do need his stability at the moment. He's going on to pick up Wayne Swass.
So the bounce to restart play. Madden up high, gets his left hand to it. Brown advantaged by that. Gets a right foot kick across his body towards half forward. The ball to be won. Oh, down goes Hogg. And he will receive the free kick. He's 50 metres from goal, so that'll test Matthew Hogg. And certainly there, the free kick against McCarthy. The kick to the square, and Madden puts his long arms in the air. He's very, very difficult to contend with when he goes straight up in the air like that. And he's marked 20 metres out on a very, very slight angle.
He's done this a lot this year, Madden. He's presented himself in a goal-kicking position, hasn't he?
Well, he loves to kick goals. He's kicked one.
I think it was a matter of survival, Bruce. He either started to do that or his career was really being threatened.
On 5 occasions before this match this year, he's kicked 2 goals in the game. This is a good effort.
My word.
For the ruck work he does around the ground.
Yes.
He's got a chance to make another 2-goal night here.
Well, the first goal he kicked in the second term was a bit of a gift. This one, a little bit more difficult, and I think he's missed.
There's usually a very good shot for goal on from a standing start. Dipper, you've got some news on Andrew Mackay.
Yeah, the good news is there's no teeth missing, and also no stitches were required. He just got patched up with a bit of cotton wool here and there.
Long ball. Madden, Ishenko. Now Crocker. McCarthy to Clarkson. Clarkson up towards half forward. Christou was there with King. Hip and shoulder. Swashed it all right. Mackay. Handball out wide. King trying to shepherd Hannah. Hannah did brilliantly. Scholl under pressure. Dean takes it underneath himself. Gets rid of it. Christou, the ball there to be won. And again, it's going to be a bounce down at left half forward, this time for North Melbourne. 8-6 to 10-12.
He's had another very good game, Ange Christou, who often just plays the corridor, takes the handball from running players going backwards, and he just pumps the ball with that long left foot into their attack.
Speak of him, gets the handball away. Brown under pressure, swats it away to the boundary line, and it will be a throw-in. So the Blues at 10-12. To 8-6 as Williams and Lynn sitting on the bench. Carlton by 18.
And we're more than halfway through the third term. Brown gets the handball. Gleeson taps it on, looking for the advantage of Hannah. Spalding in there to harass Crocker. And the ball forced over for a throw-in on centre wing. Pretty good crowd here this evening for this big game between North Melbourne and Carlton. Quite cold, but the conditions haven't been too bad. It rained earlier in the night. The players handling these conditions quite nicely. Stevens with the football. Goes straight towards goal. It'll go to the back. No, it's a free kick to Silvani. No, it's not. It's against Silvani. And it'll go to Longmire, is it?
I think Silvani just got a hold of his Guernsey. Get a better look at it now. Just watch Sauce's arm going back there. Didn't appear to be too much in it, Robbo.
Oh, dear me. Anyway, Longmire's got the footy, and he should kick a goal for North. Pretty well straight in front, and he's kicked it. So Longmire gets his second goal, and North Melbourne hit back. They trailed by 29 points a few minutes ago, and now it's a 12-point game.
Well, the only thing that you'd suggest that there was something in it was that Silvani didn't remonstrate all that greatly, and he does have a habit of doing that. Let's see if we can pick up anything here. At the top of the screen there, it's just a little bit of a grab there from Silvani, but certainly not worth a goal.
3 quick goals to North, the margin back to 12 points. Bradley held up, holding the footy. North Melbourne now making its run. McCarthy to full forward. Longmire, McKernan. Still with McKernan, then went out. Mitchell looks for a free kick and gets it. Kept down low, advantage given to McKay. McKay from the centre square to full forward. Cook! And also Fairley with courage. Kernahan there. Ball on the ground to be won. Fairley tucks it underneath. And they hold it up North Melbourne after rebound footy by the Blues.
Just a fantastic effort there by Ian Fairley. He's done a pretty good job on Stephen Kernahan tonight. He's always competed. That one saved them a goal, blocking off Cook.
With Kernahan again, Spalding's handball missed by Heaver. And Fairley again with his hands on it, along with Spalding, Smith and Kernahan. And a bounce down about 30 metres from Carlton's goal. It's been a night of high excitement here and high drama. Kernahan, Gleeson under pressure. Terrific tackle across the body by the North Melbourne defender. Back to Gleeson, back to Brown. Brown's left-footed for goals, a beauty! Do you reckon he's pumped up? It's blow for blow. It's one of those matches, isn't it? 11 goals, 12 to 9-6.
Once again, the Carlton forward line just look a little bit too mobile for North Melbourne. Hogg seems to be getting down into the forward line from the centre midfield, and he's always involved in those scraps when the ball hits the deck.
Good game by Fraser Brown, 13 kicks and 7 handballs, and he's also kicked 2 goals. A free kick out of the ruck contest, and it will go to Ischenko. A wobbly punt kick, bounces in the centre-half forward vacant area, taken by Sexton. A quick kick out towards the wing on this member's side. Bradley leads in the race for the ball. Blakey is his opponent. Bradley over, and the umpire not having anything of that. He'll just give the all clear for a boundary throw in, quite near the players' interchange area. Madden and Ischenko, free kick again. Justin behind, infringes against Big Alex.
Getting the benefit of playing in front there at the ruck throw in.
And fair enough. Ischenko's kick towards centre half forward. Contest there. Ball spills. McKernan tries to get his little foot to it. Dean in the middle there. Alvin tackle on Stevens. The Blues will get clear. No, it's Blakey to hold them up. Bradley's tackle pretty good. Umpire decides on a bounce.
Been a pretty good tussle between Blakey and Bradley. Both have had their share of possessions. Bradley has kicked the goal, I think.
Bradley 13 and Blakey 12. Bradley yet to kick a goal. Blakey yet to kick a goal. Ball forced forward for North Melbourne. Contest there was pretty good. Rock and McKay. McKay with strength. Gets the handball clear. Sexton surely will allow this to go over. So with just under 5 minutes left in the third term, it's been a terrific quarter of football. The Blues lead by 3 goals. They've kicked 4 goals, 3 in this term. And on the other hand, North Melbourne have added just a couple of goals.
3 in fact, Robbo. They 6 at half-time. Mann's kick towards full forward. Longmire there. Play on called. Allison's kicked 4 tonight. Allison has missed. He's kicked 4 goals, 3 tonight.
He just poked at that one. His weight was travelling back. And really had no surety about it whatsoever.
9-7 to 11-12. Silvani short to Fraser Brown. Looked for an option out wide. It was Sexton. He's still there and Christou's inside of him. He's got Christou now. From the back pocket. Long kick. Gets about 60 metres on that. McKernan from the side. Spalding crashes through. Handball to Madden. had an airy. Smothered by Clarkson. Well played by the Rover. Bad kick. Straight back to McKay. Was crunched early in this quarter by Campbell, and Campbell reported. McKay. Oh, what a mark! Oh, Gary Ablett, stand aside for one moment. Oh, he'll kick a goal from here. He's only 60 metres out.
Gee, this is a mark, isn't it?
This is one of the best you'll ever see. Wouldn't you love him, Robert, to go back and thump it through?
I think he'd enjoy it too. I think the crowd would enjoy it too, Bruce.
Have to be a torp, I think. I know Earl Spalding wasn't all that pleased. He got the full brunt of his knee right in the back of the scone.
Look at the run-up he's taking. It's like Dennis Lilly at his best. He's about 30 metres away from the man on the mark.
If he can just get it up, Rhino, he's going for the short pass.
He's going to go short to Kernahan and gets him.
Well done. Kept his head about him. He knew he was probably on a hiding to nothing to kick the goal.
But he's taken 2 of the best marks you've seen in a long time in this quarter.
And good on him. I just reiterate that it's taken Carlton a lot of patience with James Cook. And it's certainly starting to show dividends.
He did have that knee reconstruction. I think it was his second year at Carlton, which set him back a while, but he certainly has showed a bit tonight.
Kernahan,
Just a little bit.
The captain really should kick the goal after what Cook's done for him. He's got it. 2 to Kernahan. And it's just one of those matches, Gerard, where you could say, well, that's a body blow. Surely North can't recover. Yet it goes from one to the other. Have a look at this one more time.
And poor old Spalding. As a centre-half forward, that's part of the trade, I'm afraid. You've got to cop them. And great combination between the captain and Cook.
Madden, who's been terrific at the centre bounces for the Blues, and so has the Carlton defence, been enormous. They've worked very, very hard. Spalding tries to get the ball clear. Hogg couldn't quite get a fist to it. It's Ross Smith to tidy up. The ball goes back towards the half-forward area for North Melbourne, but it rebounds. Look at this man. Gee, I love Peter Dean. He gets the ball to Brown. Brown's kick into the pocket. Up high was Cook. Couldn't take it. Bond has got the football, tackled by Laidley, and the umpire will be forced to bounce just inside 50 metres for Carlton. 12-12 the Blues, 9-7 North Melbourne. About 45 metres from the Carlton goal. Kernahan doing the ruck work. Gets it to Hogg, but he's beaten for it by Stevens. Stevens kicks it back near the wing. Nearly a good interception by Dean. In late was Gleeson on Rock. The ball forced forward for North Melbourne. Christou was there. A little kick. Back there is Alvin. Oh, he handballed to his opponent, which was Mann. Stevens is caught. Look at that vice-like tackle by Hogg. Goes back to Mann. Mann's kick to the square. Silvani punches the ball clear. McKay's got a chance. He's tackled brilliantly by Allison. No free kick. You were a bit lucky there, Andrew. The ball goes for Crocker. Crocker can't quite take the football. Hanger's got him. The ball comes back to Scholl, back to Crocker. Crocker from 50 metres off the left foot, bounces in the square, and McKernan gets the goal. So Corey McKernan has now kicked 2 goals for North Melbourne, and the Kangaroos hang in there, 10-7 to 12-12. The difference is 17 points.
And one of the big differences between the sides is that North Melbourne are having to work so much harder for their goals. They really did deserve a goal here. There was a number of great tackles that led to them disposing of Carlton. The ball went out, they got it back, and finally McKernan with a good one.
10-7 to 12-12, a minute remaining in what's been a magnificent third quarter. Spectacular football. Mark taken by Mann from Scholl, back to Scholl to fall forward. McKernan with one hand punched away by Silvani at the back. Ball still to be won. Sexton has an airy. North Melbourne desperate for a late goal. Dean over the top of it. Pyman puts a tackle on. And don't you just love Peter Dean,
In
Robbo?
the trenches, I'd pick him number 1.
Well, David Parkin agonised last year when he was injured in that final series, didn't he? Was desperate really to play him.
Very disappointing for Peter Dean.
For all sorts of reasons. Just couldn't take the risk. Mann, Allison, Blakey, here's a chance. Swash should kick this. Left foot round the body. Not going to be a goal. Mark that a long line. Well, what a quarter of football we've had. Carlton led by 10 points at half-time. They got to 29, it got back to 12, they got back to 23. And if he kicks this, we'll be back to 11. Look at the angle. We're in the dying seconds of the third quarter. And I think anyone that's been here tonight who's watched it on telly won't forget this one for a long time. And he has put it through. That's got to be the best half-hour footy you've seen in a long time. It's had everything. Absolutely the lot.
It's been a terrific quarter. I mean, Carlton got away twice to 29 points and about 23 points, and North Melbourne have just kept on having a go.
And a pretty good goal. They're not all that difficult from that far out, but under the pressure that Longmire was, it was a great conversion.
And I think the North Melbourne sponsors, NZI Insurance, would have been happy with that. They got some airplay. It's forced forward. There's the siren. So the siren sounds to end the third term, and the fans have got their money's worth in that quarter. At three-quarter time, the Blues lead by 11 points. They're 12-12, North Melbourne 11-7.
Kernahan with 2 goals tonight. Longmire's got 3 at the other end. But that third quarter must be remembered for James Cook. 2 marks that were out of this world, another terrific mark, and 1 thumping goal. So Dennis Pagan, you're still well and truly in this. They've earned their reputation for being fighters, North Melbourne. And at three-quarter time, it's the Blues 12-12 to 11-7.
To be fair to concede that they both will make it, but I think a fair psychological win here for the victors.
Archer, Ischenko and King starting on the bench there for North Melbourne.
11-7, 12-12, start of the last term. Will we see the same patterns we've seen throughout? Carlton getting away and North Melbourne getting back. It's what's happened in the 3 terms so far. Clarkson's handball was good. Smith from centre wing, centering the ball towards the heart of the centre square. Campbell able to take it. Goes with a low drop punt to Longmire. Takes the bounce. Can he run off? No, the handball. Allison and Alvin. Allison with pace in the pocket. He's a left footer. Christou forces him out. Throw in the right forward pocket for North Melbourne.
Promising start from North Melbourne though. Getting that ball into the centre was perhaps a little bit early to centre it, but they knocked it forward. Good attempted shepherd there from Rock.
Williams, Koutoufidis and Lynn sitting out for Carlton. Madden. Punch forward by McKernan. Alvin. Pyman. Centering kick Longmire. That was a good kick by Pyman. He played the percentages and Longmire was in the right place at the right time. He's kicked 3, Longmire. Be a handy night's work for in what's been a relatively low-scoring match. Longmire's put it through. The Kangaroos are within a kick. Now this is the closest they've been to Carlton for a long time. Kevin, our statistician's about to look it up for us. 12-7 to 12-12.
Let's just see how this develops. Does Robert Pyman have a look, because it was a superb kick. He did have a bit of a sneak look, and you'll just notice Longmire's approach to goal. I'm not sure that the way to go at those goals is to veer off to the right. They haven't got time for the replay, but he certainly did that. He got a conversion. That's all that counts.
So play restarted. Madden gets his hand onto it once again, but it's North Melbourne. Pyman, the handball over his head. Players allowed to go on. McKay just gets his foot to it, and it's been deemed as too high back there on centre wing. So the free kick will go to Andrew McKay. Received a very heavy knock in the third quarter. He's kicking towards full forward. It goes through to the back. Surely if he gathers this, Bradley will kick a goal. He is a professional footballer of the absolute. Craig Bradley kicks his first goal, and the Blues get their 13th, and it's back out to 11 points.
Yes, they just can't bridge the gap at the moment, North Melbourne. Troy Bond coming off the ground, and he'll be replaced by Tony Lynn, who's spent a fair bit of time on the bench, but no question about Craig Bradley. His finishing skills are as good as any player that I've ever seen in the AFL.
Well, he had a fairly quiet third quarter, but good start to the last.
It's been to and fro, the battle between he and Blakey, though. They've both had patches where they've been dominating.
12-7, 13-12, 11-point margin again. Pyman, Gleeson, McCarthy, Bradley smother good. then traps it underneath himself. Crocker's left foot round the body, all Blues. Sexton out wide, sweeps it to Earl the Pearl Spalding. He can go on. Had Mitchell running. Left-hand handball to Brown, who's kicked a couple of goals tonight. Brown centering kick, Madden with some hope. North Melbourne with courage through Clarkson. Martin, big rebound coming up, you'd think, for North Melbourne. Oh, Mickey kicks it high and wide. Allison with pace. Alvin to go with him. Allison didn't fall over. That was important. Got a reasonable bounce. Handball over the top to Swash. Left footer, remember that. Goes back under pressure. Allison off the ground. Carlton back underneath it. And Sexton mops it up.
Good pressure by the Carlton defence. They stood up there when all looked lost.
Sexton looking for Dean. Dean sets himself. Going to ground, Mackay, Dean's little one. McCarthy, Hannah, can he ride the bump? Stevens put it on him. Hogg, Mitchell, Heaver over the top. Kernahan, a succession of handballs. That one missed the body. Mitchell in trouble. North Melbourne might get out of this. Lynn and Kernahan over the top of it fairly. Only as far as Stevens. Smother was brilliant by Mitchell to Lynn. Lynn to go for goal. And misses. It's a behind. It's a two-goal game again at 13-13
Terrific
to 12-7.
And throughout that play, when Carlton had the football, North Melbourne made an interchange. Peter Mant has come from centre-half forward and gone onto the ruck. Corey McKernan back to centre-half forward. And obviously Ishenko is resting on the bench along with Greg Williams.
Smith to kick it back into play for North Melbourne. He decides to go straight down the ground. At the back, Mackay. Well done. Recovered from the heavy knock and has taken the mark quite near the centre circle. Not a bad kick either, Andrew Mackay. Could nearly land this in the goal square. Goes reasonably short into the pocket and a good mark taken by Mann. Falling over was Cook. Mann kicks it back near the wing, but it goes straight to the opposition. Bruce, I was speaking to some people yesterday and I said I cannot believe the number of times that I see these very, very skillful players kick the ball straight back to the opposition. This is a great kick by Alvin.
Well, it's a product of the increased pressure, Robbo, on the kicker. As the tackling skills have gone up, and I still think there's a long way to go in that area, the kicking
I think you're being kind. I think you're being kind. But anyway,
well, the tempo of the game has just increased out of sight.
I'm talking about set kicks where you've got a chance to break clear, created by excessive handball, and you give the guy with the football plenty of chance to look down the ground and they kick it straight to the opposition.
Archer on for Campbell, who looks to be hobbling.
Cook with the now famous long run up, goes in short. Oh, he looked there for Lynn. Mitchell making a contest, kicked off the ground, attempted off the ground by Spalding. Mitchell, no, Kernahan too high. That got him throw, doesn't it? No. Maybe the free kick will go to Mitchell early, was it? Mitchell has just been an absolute tiger. He's playing his 195th game, Barry Mitchell, making his debut in the same year that Greg Williams did in 1984. And his stats tonight, he's coming up for his 10th kick, 17 handballs. Lots of them have been under a certain amount of pressure, but that's the way he plays his football. And if he gets this goal, it certainly could be a bit of icing on his cake, personally.
And a good point there for young players. There's no harm in asking the umpire to clarify exactly where the mark is that the defender shouldn't stand.
Mitchell goes for goal and puts it through. Barry Mitchell kicks his first goal, and the Blues with a little bit of breathing space now, 14-13 to 12-7. It is 18 points with 15 minutes left.
You'll see this free kick again. I've noticed Barry Mitchell running wide, looking for passes from a number of players, and a lot of the time he's just run himself out of the play. He must be at Kernahan's feet on every occasion.
Campbell looking on with Ishenko there, 14-13, 12-7. Campbell just went off for Archer, who's had a very quiet night back from suspension. Hasn't made a mark at all, Archer. 4 kicks and 2 handballs and not a mark, and that's been one of his trademarks. Number 11 we're talking about. Matched up with Mackay early on. Mackay had the better of him and he struggled to get going ever since. Madden was able to force it forward. Good bounce for Gleeson. Well, Heaver, he's a great finisher. He hooks that, needs a very good bounce and didn't get it.
Disappointing.
Got the first goal of the match, as Robbo told us in that third quarter. Again, we look at Koutafidis, but Williams in particular. That's one of a couple of mysteries here tonight.
He has to have strained a hamstring, surely.
Laidley goes long. Kernahan went for the punch. Scholes quick kick. Centre wing. Allison and Christou. McKernan forces it forward. Was a good kick in the end. Rock onto it. Inside 50. Goal. And kicks it behind. North Melbourne, Longmire pointing to a centre-half forward position. Rock looks a bit tucked up there himself at 12-8 to 14-14. Kicked one goal tonight, Rock.
Hasn't had enough of the football. There was talk during the week that a number of the North Melbourne players were ill. Not sure who they were, but perhaps Anthony Rock and Archer were two of them.
I was going to ask you whether you're happy with those short kick-ins, but Alvin's in a bit of trouble. Tackled Allison. Play allowed to go on. Schwass dragged off the football. Mitchell, little kick close to the boundary line. Christou looking for the handball, but the umpire giving the all clear for a boundary throw-in. Would you like to take a couple of seconds and talk about those short kick-ins?
I think the short kick-ins are only effective when you get the second one away, and there you see Brett Allison in a bit of trouble. If the player can come up and stand on the mark, or just let it flow through. If the player can come up and stand on the mark, all you're doing then is conceding that you're going to probably kick the ball to one side of the ground, which allows the forward players in the opposition, which would become defenders, to really man up and create a wall. So the second kick, the kick to the short player, must be one that he can play on from.
Throw in the pocket now. Allison's still cramped.
Do you think he's cramped, or is it worse than that?
Well, his first movement was to to bring the toes back.
Quite severe, though. He was in. Looked as though he was in.
Well, he has done a power of work tonight, Brett Allison. He's been a tireless runner.
He's kicked 4-4 or 4-3, depending on whether you think one was off hands. He's had 10 kicks and one handball, and he is coming off the ground. So that is a blow for North Melbourne. He's the sort of player in this last quarter with his acceleration and pace could have cut the fence and kicked an important goal.
Well, he's still got time if they can get him back and give him a chance to recover, to come back and have an impact.
Madden and Mann. Mann took it out of the air. Smothered. Kicked is it by Pyman. It's a goal. North keep coming back. Pyman's got his first. And North Melbourne, and how many times have we said that tonight, that they refuse to lay down, and they're back within 12 points.
Well, I think this game is doing wonders for the look forward to the finals. I'm sure if North Melbourne go down, they'll say that Carey was missing, but now Carlton can say, well, our bloke Williams wasn't playing the second half either.
Handball over the top, into the path of Hogg. Down he goes, but he gets back up again, and Big Earl, mop this up, son. No, he doesn't. He kicks it rather ordinarily in the finish, and the North Melbourne player who hit Matthew Hogg, Ross Smith, in a bit of trouble behind play. We'll have another look. Well, he didn't quite collect Matthew Hogg, but he has recovered, Ross Smith. A few trainers around him back near the centre of the ground. The kick goes in towards the centre. A free kick has been picked out of it. The advantage is paid for North Melbourne. Down goes the North Melbourne player behind. The ball now rebounding. Dean again, ever reliable, just gets his kick away. It's a scrambly one, out towards the wing. Bradley, Ross Smith, who has recovered. Well done. Short kick. Not too bad either. Longmire rakes it in with the left hand. Longmire plays on. And his kick to the goal square. Contest back there. No, it's picked off at the back by Christou. Could he go down the ground? No, he kicks it long out in the Shoal and Hannah direction. Is that a free kick for Hannah? Surely. Well, the umpire was a fair way away from it, but Mill Hannah looked back and he eventually was awarded the free kick. A floating kick lands with Heaver. Heaver goes short. Mark taken by Spalding. Spalding in towards half forward. Madden underneath it. Takes the mark. If it's not, it's a free kick.
And once again, Carlton are hurting North Melbourne with Harry Madden just floating forward into that vacant centre-half forward position. Earl Spalding, who plays centre-half forward, was on the flank and he was the one delivering it to Big Harry. And he's doing this to perfection tonight, Justin Madden.
Jared Rock coming off for Ishenko, so Small rover coming off for their big ruckman.
Yeah, well, Rock really hasn't looked at all damaging tonight. Probably not 100% fit, I'd suggest.
Well, we gave Justin Madden's goal-scoring ability a bit of a rap in the third quarter, and he let us down. This kick is directly in front.
I think I'll back the big fellow in for me.
You fancy him here?
Yep.
Good. Like the person who declares himself. Madden going for his second goal. He's had a really good look at this, and it is a wonderful kick. It's a goal. Madden gets his second goal, and the Blues get their 15th, and it's stretched out to 19 points now with 11 and a half minutes left in the game.
You'll see the ball end up once again with Justin Madden, but really has been a magnificent addition to his career, hasn't it? As he's got older, he's become more damaging up forward and often kicks goals.
Free kick to Mitchell in the centre against Pyman, who rode him into the turf. Goes high and wide. Kernahan underneath it. Front spot. The Blues getting the next goal. You'd say that was Curtins, and 19 points in front. Kernahan to Heaver. Heaver hooks it and misses completely. Everything. That could have been the ball game. Allison back on the ground. Gee, Brett Heaver, who's made his name as a goal kicker at Carlton after coming from Melbourne. I think he kicked 5 or 6 in his first match for Melbourne on this ground against Carlton.
Exactly.
In a big Monday game. The kick by Stevens. That would have been the ball game if he kicked that, Heaver. They've still got a good lead, the Blues. 15-15 to 13-8.
Bruce Keever's had 9 kicks and 4 handballs. He's kicked 1 goal, but could have really topped his performance off by kicking, 4, Gerard? Yes.
He kicked a goal with his first kick of the match.
Had a few chances. The ball rebounding for Hannah, tackled by Schwass, got the handball away, and couldn't control it. And Wayne Schwass, not all that impressed. And you have to barrack like blazes, madam, because your side trails at the moment, and with 10 and a half minutes left, they've got the job in front of them. Madden bashes the ball back over for another throw-in. Rodney Eade, Mark Dawson with Dennis Pagan, and go, she says, go Roos! But it's out of bounds on that far centre wing area. Madden and Ischenko. Madden gets his left hand to it. Man it is, just gets his right foot to it. McKay a sweeping handball. Bashed further forward, but it's Brown there for the Blues. A quick kick. Clarkson goes with the fist, and it goes over again for another throw-in.
Been brave tonight, Clarkson, back in the team. 9 kicks, 3 handballs. Again at centre wing. Madden, Ischenko in the front spot. Schwass has only had 8 kicks, 11 handballs. He struggled tonight. McKay's handball chance here. Hogg onto it. Bouncing ball. Hogg looking for a free kick. Goes to ground. Kernahan goes back. Gleeson pushes it forward. Well played by McCarthy. Gets it to Laidley. Laidley trying to find the boundary line with a long one, and he does. It's out of play at half back. Dean Laidley. Bond got away from him a couple of times early in the match. Just feeling that left collarbone shoulder area. Kernahan lays it down. Clarkson's little ball didn't go very far. Brown's handball went further than Clarkson's kick. Stevens and Kernahan. Stevens tumbles the ball out of play. And North Melbourne have got to get some momentum up somewhere from somewhere. They can't let this go on for much more time, because the seconds are going away quickly, and Carlton have got a good lead now.
Fairly impressive statistics there for Anthony Stevens. 15 kicks and 3 handballs. But you're right, Bruce, 15-15 to 13-8. Over 40,000 people here at the cricket ground. North Melbourne force it towards half forward. Gathered by Schwass. McKay grabbed him just at that moment when the ball had spilt free of Wayne Schwass's hands. His kick goes in towards centre half forward. No mark. Alvin. Heaver. Back to Christou. Christou's a beautiful kick of the football. In towards half forward. No mark there. It's at centre half forward for Carlton. Blakey combines with Laidley. Laidley gets a long kick. Back towards half forward for North Melbourne. It clears the pack. At the back is Dean. Sweeping hand pass. Gives Sexton a chance. Sexton's little kick goes down the wing. Gatherers by Mitchell. The hand pass really ineffective. North Melbourne able to mop it up. Laidley off the left foot, in towards half forward, and a good mark taken by McKernan.
Just.
Not paid? Yes, it is being paid.
Well, he just got, like Lazarus, he just got up. He looked like he'd been shot with an elephant gun. And I'm sure he has got an injury, perhaps to his left knee.
Well, that'll be tragic for North Melbourne if Corey McKernan was in
just
trouble.
Got himself off the ground, but he certainly didn't look confident. Very lucky to get the mark.
He landed with a jarring effect on that left leg. Just checking to make sure everything's all right. Well, pretty similar position to the goal he kicked just before half-time. He's perhaps about 8 or 9 metres further from goal. Tries the torpedo punt kick. It doesn't work. Silvani couldn't take the mark. Kicked off the ground. Brown it is for Carlton. Goes for the safety of the boundary line. And not a bad kick at the finish there by Fraser Brown. His form tonight would be encouraging for the Blues. 26 possessions. A little quiet last week. And he's kicked 2 goals. The Blues lead by 19 points.
Manning unopposed in the end. Gleeson, little handball towards the boundary line. Clarkson with him, and again out of play in the left forward pocket. North have got to get a goal out of this attack. 8 minutes remaining.
I guess the only thing against Brown's game is that Ellison got a couple of goals on him early, but since then he's been certainly one of Carlton's best.
Clarkson, Gleeson with him. Clarkson tries to ride it, holding the footy.
Gleeson's been good. Bruce, he was dropped from the seniors early in the year and came back for his 150th game, and
4 weeks ago he came back, Robert.
Played fantastic. He's been very good.
Goes to centre wing. Madden his target. Ishenko into the centre. Good bounce for North. Smith, normally a good kick. That's a beauty to the full forward. And off hands are behind. So North up to 3 goals behind. It's their first score for a while. 13-9 to 15-15. Still time.
Anthony Rock preparing to come back on, and perhaps it's Archer once again to hit the woodwork.
Christou. Dean. This is all playing into Carlton's hands at the moment. Sexton, possession football, sitting on a 3-goal lead. Sexton with a long one. Kernahan the target. Fairley, who's done more than fairly tonight. He's done very, very well on a great opponent. 6 kicks Kernahan, 5 marks, a couple of goals. He's been competitive, as he always is, but Ian Fairley, seemingly outgunned physically, has stuck to his task. Bradley on hands and knees, a throw in. Carlton at 7 minutes to go, are 3 goals in front.
The problem you have got when you match up on Kernahan is you know that he is going to be the focal point. Carlton are going to pump it towards him on almost every occasion.
Laidley couldn't get clear. The ball underneath there somewhere, and the umpire's found a free kick out. Where it was, and you've got me guessing, it's going to Mitchell. Mitchell with his 13th kick coming up, and 30th possession. And this kick is a good one too. Gets well over 45 metres. Gleeson tries to tap it to the front of the goals. Taking it all the way there was Anthony Stevens, and it goes over for a boundary throw in the left forward pocket for the Blues. They lead 15-15 to 13-9. 18 points is the margin, and we're down under 7 minutes. Madden to do the ruck work, but the umpire's seen a free kick again, and it's against Madden. So that'd have to be about the 6th or 7th free kick against Justin Madden, and it will go to big Alex Ischenko. He gets it well outside the 50-metre region, but what a terrific mark taken by McKay. Handballs away to Hannah, and the Blues up to the full forward line.
Spalding in a good position, run underneath it in the end. Blakey controls it, good kick to Martin. North have got to make something of this. Good tackle by Bradley. Now Stevens. Christou after it. Carlton are in a great position again. Sexton to mop up as he's done 3 times in this last quarter. Brown, the tackle was okay. North Melbourne with numbers. Rock back on the ground. Hogg goes to ground but gets it to Christou. Christou's kick off Cook, that one. Under pressure, McCarthy taken away from it. Mitchell's handball, conceding ground, but was a good one. Bradley tackle. Back to Cook. These players are very tired. Cook's kicking the Kernahan direction. Ischenko, Fairley. and Fairley from full-back bangs it back to centre wing. McKernan looks recovered, went at that a bit better. Bradley again, the give to Mackay. Mackay on the left foot, probing kick chance here. Spalding had a good touch of that, and it's going to be paid. And as short, Spalding can kick a goal from here. He is not the most reliable kick in the competition, but the Mackay left footer gave him a chance. It was a very good mark in the circumstances. Come on, Gerard, you declared Justin Madden about 10 minutes ago. He was 20 metres further out than Earl the Pearl.
Absolute certainty, this one.
Carlton fans...
I bet you've got your heart in your mouth as you watch this.
Carlton fans can't bear to look. Looks good off the boot, it's drifting away, and he's missed it.
Oh, well, you're a game man, Gerard. I've given up. Not that I haven't got a great deal of confidence for him kicking goals, but still, the kick in by Smith. Mackay up high, couldn't take the mark. Hoggs in the middle of the action. Gleeson forces it forward. Rock dispossessed by Kernahan. Gleeson in after it again. And he gets a bit of a pat on the scone there, Gleeson. 15 kicks, 7 handballs and a goal. 4 minutes left. So it suggests that the Blues will take the 4 points here. Schwass gets his right foot to it, close to the boundary line. Hannah again. He's played a pretty good game. Mill Hannah out there on the wing. His kick goes up towards full forward. And a good mark taken by Mickey Martin. Spalding could be 50 metres. No, well, that has been 50 metres in the past. He'd certainly knocked the ball out of Martin's hands. Martin goes long, out towards the wing. Contest out there. Hannah it is to mop up. Gets through. Sweeping hand pass is a beauty. Heaver goes for goal, and for the 3rd time in the quarter has missed and missed lamentably. And he's got a smile on his face, so I don't know whether the coach would be too happy with that. Anyway, in the left forward pocket, boundary throw in, Martin and Cook. Martin bashes it back over. So it wastes precious seconds for the Blues. 3.5 minutes left now. Carlton lead by 19 points.
Cook works to the front, then Mickey Martin. Cook over the back. Brown with Fairley still. Brown, 3 North Melbourne players looking for a free kick. Out of play.
I think if you had to sum up where North Melbourne have lost this game, it would be in the middle when you consider that Greg Williams isn't playing. And you'd have to say that Rock, Schwass and Stevens have all been, well, fairly badly beaten tonight by their opponents. And if they're to beat Carlton, those players will have to contribute it more significantly.
Martin got a free kick from the bounce down. Handball to Laidley. Ishenko lumbering after it. Got his hands on it. Oh, in trouble here if he doesn't get rid of it. Put it underneath himself for a moment. And this magnificent match has petered out slightly. I mean, the first 3 quarters were fantastic. The start of this last quarter promised so much. But I think the players are just exhausted. They can hardly raise a gallop. Fairley's little kick. Forced forward by Archie, who's had the quietest of quiet nights. Silvani. It's had an interesting duel with Longmire.
Well, there's been good battles all over. The Bradley Blakey one's been a beauty.
Heaver well played to Spalding. Centering kick. Lynn underneath it, had a bit of carry. Martin was going to go for the handball, then went long, got distance. Mann underneath it with Dean Chance down for Mann. There was a high bounce and waited forever. Free kick to Mann. Oh. 2 minutes remaining. 3 goals they need, Northman. McKernan. Still with McKernan. Left foot, this could bounce. Oh, he's unlucky. The way he kicked it, I thought it might have bounced with a little leg breaker through for a goal, but it's a behind. 13, 10, 15, 16.
You used to kick those when you were in grade 3 back there in Adelaide, didn't you? Those left foot snapshots.
How did you know, Robert?
Bounce back and through the centre.
Peter Dacos did a few too, didn't he?
He was pretty good at it.
Saw him coming in tonight. Had a little fella with him. He was going to watch the footy with him, about 7 years of age. Wouldn't that be a thrill?
Well, terrific player, and so is this guy here, Craig Bradley.
Well, this is the point we're talking about. This is just time wasting for Carlton. It really does. And good little chip kick there from Craig Bradley. This is just the boys racking up some possessions.
Well, I suppose Carlton really wouldn't be at all concerned. Bradley goes a little longer on this occasion, looking for Alvin. Mitchell's out there to give him a bit of a chop out, and he knocks it over for a boundary throw. So good work by Mitchell to just regroup after an unsuccessful stint at Collingwood and make his mark with the Blues. Christou, who's been very good for most of the night, taken by Clarkson. He's pushed as he kicks, and it goes over on the full. So North Melbourne finishing the game a little disappointingly, I would suggest, at three-quarter time, when the margin was just 11 points. I'm sure their fans may have thought that they were in with a real chance of winning this game. The Blues will get clear of the full back line. A succession of short passes, and it's going to finish now quite nicely with Dean. Dean's on the wing, short again, in towards the centre. It's taken by McKay. Could nearly kick a goal. But he goes to the back, looking for Cook. Martin spoiled quite nicely there and collected the footy. So well done by Mickey Martin. He goes out towards the wing. It's punched away from Ischenko by Madden. Big Alex underneath there. Mitchell may have given away a free kick there, and Alex Ischenko will take it. He's just behind centre wing, and this kick will put North Melbourne into attack.
Up towards half forward. Hannah underneath it. Good mark.
Speaking of battles, the Hannah-Craig Scholl one has also been a beauty.
Dean under some pressure, but very late in the game. Carlton with the game one. McKay's been fantastic tonight. Spalding. Dean. Seconds ticking away. Short pass. Off Cook. Oh, Laidley's handball. Siren sounds. Carlton have won. Matthew Hogg picking himself up. The Blues have won by 3 goals. We see this last incident in a match of incidents. Cook running into Hogg. 45,177. The official attendance. Big Dipper's got Stephen Kernahan. Dipper.
Thanks very much, Bruce. Steve, a finals atmosphere tonight, tough game.
Fantastic, Dipper. To win these games. We lost to Granny fairly badly last year. It was on our mind. This is our first finals type game for the year, and we came through pretty well. We lost Williams early, and that offset Carey, so we're really happy.
And what is wrong with Greg Williams? No one seems to know.
I don't know, mate. I thought he was coming out at half-time, didn't see him, so I honestly don't know, Dipper.
Now, after last year's grand final, must be a little burning desire to get better every week.
Well, it is. We've strung a few together now. We've got a long way to go, but to beat North Melbourne, I reckon, a bloody good side. In front of this sort of crowd in difficult conditions was just what we needed.
Terrific, mate, and well done, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Dipper. Thanks, mate.
The Big Dipper, thanks for that, with Stephen Kernahan. As the Carlton players leave the arena, David Parkin, well, what a present for him. His 200th match as Carlton coach, and that would be one of his most satisfying victories. Carlton have won their last 5 matches this season. They started with a big loss to Adelaide. They got beaten at Easter time by Collingwood. They were 14th on the ladder, and they've charged back to 2nd on the table tonight as we follow them down into their rooms.
Do you feel that you've seen any more steel in their game compared to last year?
Oh, yes.
I've detected that.
Yes.
I mean, there's been a lot of question marks hung over the Blues about whether they can withstand physical pressure. Now, you wouldn't see a harder game than that, would you? And they've come up trumps, so I think you can see Parkin and Kinnear running quickly to get in there, because I think they can feel.
They're not looking for Greg Miller down there, are they?
Oh, I don't think they're worried about that. That's half-time.
Don't you think, though, Robbo, that a team that gets badly beaten in the grand final and has the same nucleus of players that are still very fine footballers to get a couple more, they've got so much to play for this year. Wouldn't they love to get a crack at Essendon late in the year in a big match?
Well, I think that it'd be a terrific game for the people to go and watch too, because the Bombers are a great unit, and I think this club now is standing up and being counted.
We'll take a break from what's been a remarkable match at the MCG. Carlton in the end winning by 3 goals. It was 15-16 to 13-10.